Okay, so today's video is going to be on the third reality. So far we've done 1, 2, now we're on the third. And yeah, I'll just read the first 2 so that we have context. The only real existence is that of the one and only God who is the self in every finite self. 2. The only real love is the love for this infinity God, which arouses an intense longing to see, know, and become one with its truth, God. And for 3, the only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, body, mind, position, welfare, and even life itself are sacrificed. And for me, what really hits there is that, it's said about Baba, I think he said, he's the one who takes, not the one who gives. You don't go to Baba asking for things. But then Mani, I guess, said something along the lines of, well, if you don't ask Baba, who are you going to ask? So, go to him, but you eventually will end up losing everything. So, but at least you go to him, you go to the source. You don't go to somewhere that's going to get you more trapped and confused. It's just go to the source, go to God and find it there. Even though it's like that, right? Everything we want is actually just leading us to that final disillusionment, because it's nothing in anything. As in, there's no inherent, it's all Baba. It's all him. So we don't need anything, but we think we do. So he kind of, and that's something, that I love about this, about number 3. It's like the only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, body, mind, position, welfare, and even life itself are sacrificed. It's like the path is actually a courageous one. It's not a path where you just sit there like a vegetable. You the pursuance of this love. And I'm not direct quoting anything, but I think somewhere he said, those who seek will. I mean, I think it's in the Bible, wherever that verse is. Those who seek shall find. It's so true. I think even Baba says something about that. It's like, if you seek it, you'll get it. If you seek him, you will receive it. There's just no doubt about that. And it's a pursuance. It really is. There's a beautiful quote that, here, I'll cut to that right now. All right, so there's this beautiful quote. I actually haven't read this, but I'm just going to read it out first time. When I became a lover, I thought I had gained the pearl of the goal. Foolish, I did not know that this pearl lies on the floor of an ocean, which has innumerable waves to be encountered and great depths to be sounded. And that's from Hafiz. And then I'll just read this whole thing. In the beginning, the seeker of truth is like a man who, having heard that a priceless pearl is to be got from the depths of the ocean, goes down to the seashore and first admires the vastness of the ocean, and then paddles and splashes about in the shallows, and, intoxicated with its new excitement, forgets about the pearl. Out of many, and this is another thing about Baba, I'm constantly hammering this home to myself and anyone else who will listen to me. No one else says stuff like this. No one else just gets it the way Baba did. I remember when I was young, and I was at the trust in Mehrabad, and I was like reading him trying to find the holes. I was like, it's just so sure that this couldn't be that there was an avatar, that there was a God. And I was reading all the books, God Speaks, and the discourses specifically, and I was just going, I mean, you can't. There's nobody else says it like that. No one else freaking gets it the way that he gets it. And he just does it with these parables. Anyway, okay. With his new excitement, forgets about the pearl. I mean, out of many who do this, one after a while remembers his quest and learns to swim and starts to swim out. Out of many who do this, one after a while, right? How long is that while, right? How many lifetimes is that while? Remembers his quest and learns to swim and starts to swim out. Out of many who do this, out of the many who few, out of the many who do this, one masters swimming and reaches the open sea. The others perish in the waves. Out of many who master swimming, one begins to dive. The others, in their enjoyment of mastery, again, forget about the pearl. Out of many who practice diving, one reaches the ocean bed and grasps the pearl. And this is connected to number 3. The only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, body, mind, position, welfare, and even life itself are sacrificed. And this is you, seeing the ocean, starting to swim. You have to give it all up. You can't just be going, oh, I enjoy swimming now. This is so wonderful. I learned to swim 10Ks. I learned to swim this much or that much. It doesn't matter. Okay, now you learn to swim. Don't forget, why are you here? You're not here just to learn to swim. You're not here about swimming. It's not about it. That's not the point. I lost it. Okay. And then, out of many who practice diving, one reaches the ocean bed and grasps the pearl. And out of many who get hold of the pearl, one swims back up to the surface with it, and others stay stuck on the floor gazing with wonder at the pearl. Out of many who swim up to the surface, one returns to the shore. This one is the perfect master, the Kutub. And he shows his pearl to others, the other divers, the swimmers, the paddlers, and so encourages them in their efforts. But he can, if he wishes, cause another to become the possessor of the pearl, without that one having to learn to swim and diving. But God-man or avatar in the master of master is the master of masters, Kutub al-Aktab, and can give possession of the pearl to any number he likes. The Kutub is perfect perfection, but is circumscribed by his office in regard to his help to man. The Kutub is perfect perfection, but is circumscribed by his office in regard to his help to men. That's quite a task. The avatar is beyond limits of function. His power and the effects of his power are boundless. The absolute perfection of the perfect master is the same as God-man's. The difference between them is in the scope of their functioning. One is limited and one is unlimited. There's a reason that we're here for Baba. Come on. We're still within the 100-year range, so he's here, and I feel that the only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, body, mind, position, welfare, and even life itself are sacrificed. I don't have much commentary on that. It's just so self-explanatory. It's beautiful. You have to give up everything. Somebody said, everyone's got their dooney list. Their dooney list. What are you going to put in the dooney next? But nobody wants to put their life in there. Nobody wants to put their mind in there. Nobody wants to put their body in there. You don't want to put the things that are actually holding you back from reality, from it, But it's you wouldn't, I think about that. I don't feel that I would. You don't just put your mind in the fire because you're supposed to. You put your mind in the fire of your own love. You do it out of love. The same way that you do it if an intruder was in your house and your loved ones were in danger. The same way that you would put yourself in harm's way to protect them. That's sacrifice. That's the real sacrifice. And that's when you put everything on the line. And it is the pursuance in some sense. That's an echo of what it is to pursue this, or to be capable of walking in the direction of divine love. Because it's so hard to, in the world you would do it this way, but for your beloved, would oh yeah, you'd be willing to give up your body to keep everybody safe? Okay, well, Baba might be even saying that even greater than that would be giving up your own mind at his daman. Giving up your own mind to his wish, to really live out and do as he wishes. I mean, giving up your everything to him. And I don't think that means not being responsible, but well, I know it doesn't mean not being responsible. I think it seems that these things come when they're supposed to. They don't come just because you read these and you go, okay, well, I've got to get rid of all these things. It seems that the only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, mind, body, position, welfare, and even life itself are sacrificed. These things come in stages, just like the quote that I was just reading. It's a journey. It seems to be some kind of a journey where you go, okay, you learn this, you learn that, and then you get there, and then you have to forget this, and you have to forget that. You have to learn. It's like, okay, so now you know how to make a pot. Cool, you make a pot. And then you don't need to make a pot anymore. Now you need to learn how to fill the pot. And now you need to learn how to put a seed in it. And now you need to learn how to put it and grow the tree out of it. And now you need to learn how to make a bigger pot for the tree to grow in the bigger pot. And then maybe you need to learn how to put... It's like, you can't try to... Man will continually be dislodged from his self-made forms by oh, that was a beautiful quote. Let me find that one. We'll cut to that. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We're back. Man will be dislodged again and again from his illusory shelters by fresh and irresistible waves of life, and will invite upon himself fresh forms of suffering by seeking to protect his separative existence through escape. I think that's another, and then another one would be the ego is epiphytic in its nature. So no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, the ego is going to grow on it. And that's where Baba comes in. That's where he comes in. If he's not the center, once you get that scent, then you got your your enemy is your best friend, and your best friend is just not Baba. Baba's not your best friend. He's your core, Your best friend lives on either shoulder, and either one just, I don't know. I don't trust him. That core, whatever that is, it inspires in me, and inspires, I think, in a lot of us, that to just follow him. And I don't know how to follow him. So that's why I keep having to look at him, and keep having to think of him, and keep having to read about him, because I have no idea what he even wants. And yet, there are these realities, and then the deeper I go into these realities, the more I realize how difficult it is to actually be nobody at his feet, ultimately. How to not be... It's not like I need to negate myself and be like, oh, Adam, you don't exist. You don't need to... Stop worrying about yourself. Stop thinking about yourself all the time. It's more... How can I bring him into my life? How can I sacrifice myself at his feet, How can I be courageous enough to learn to swim? Because someone's got to learn to swim to get that pearl. Someone's got to put the effort in, and that's why it seems to, like, in pursuance of this love, all these things are sacrificed. But if you don't pursue it, then how are you going to get there? So it's not a waiting game. It's a pursuance. You pursue it, almost like a wild animal, in some sense. And it feels that is what gets awakened in us, is this sense of, like, wildness, to discover him, to be with him, to be closer to him. And it's not a craziness. I'm not saying crazy. Just like freedom, wild and freedom. I don't know how different, but freedom comes with this. I feel so free when I say something like, take everything, like take everything that brings you. I mean, just take it. Whatever it is that needs to go, just take it. It's up to you. And this kind of surrender. It seems like, well, obviously that's the seventh, but we get there. That seems to be what happens. Is that with that? Let's see. That's the kind of sacrifice. And it's interesting, this is sacrifice. We're not talking about surrender here, we're talking about sacrifice. And it's interesting how it's not saying surrender. Here, he's saying sacrifice. So it's something sacrificial, you're giving it. Whereas I feel in surrender, it sort of happens to you. You don't have to really do anything. But in sacrifice, you have to do something. You have to pursue the love. It's almost like you have to sacrifice yourself at the altar of all the BS in your heart to get it out. You have to give it all up and kick it out of the house because Baba's coming. It's like that. That's real sacrifice. Whereas surrender would be more just to kind of give them up, But it seems like different, the same energy, but a little bit different. In surrender, you just surrender yourself, I'm not gonna share the seventh yet. I mean, you can obviously go look them up, but we're going one by one. And right now we're at sacrifice. And so it seems that the message is to give it a real try, to give it a real push, to pursue it, to really go after it. And in that love, because he says the only real love is the love for the infinity. What are you loving? The only real existence is that of the one and only God, who is the self in every finite self. The only real love is the love for this infinity God. So you're loving what is truly existent and within all of us. And then the sacrifice is in the pursuance of the love for that, for him. You're willing to give everything up. So all that to say, it seems to be a very clear line of reasoning here, where the heart just blossoms and says, okay, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this love, this thing. I'm gonna get that. That's what I'm here for. And I'll give it all up. I'll sacrifice everything, And he said, well, what did Jesus say? I came not to bring peace, but the sword. So he didn't, I don't think Baba's any different in that way. He didn't come here to be some Gandhi. He came here to to awaken his lovers. And and you have to give up everything in order to, get the pearl. So, it's like you can't have all the breath in the world if you gotta learn to hold your breath and dive deep into the ocean to get that pearl. And then when you get the pearl, you also have to have that kind of love that doesn't get lost in the shininess of it. Even then it seems there's also the duty to come back up and share it. But this is all, I don't know, maybe not, I don't know, maybe some people just need to see it, I don't know, whatever. But the pearl is Baba, and I think that wherever we're at, we all get that, we all have got that scent.